Hello, Musejam. This is Coco, this is me, one. We're at Springfest. Just about an hour before we get on stage. This is one of those fun parts.
So, and all your prominent songs are featured for free online.
Sure.
I mean, the last we've heard, you use an internet-based free distribution model for a large following, like Menopause or Indian Ocean does. So, and we've had Create with Agnee and others. So I just wanted to know, how do you people believe in online distribution and how effective has it been? I mean, the set focus, has it been met?
Oh yes.
For the internet distribution?
I've met more than 100 times over actually. We're the first band to have started distributing, mainstream band, to have started distributing our music for free online. We're also the first band who tied up with a TV show. We're the first band who tried to involve our listeners in our music by Create with Agnee.
Exactly.
All of these happened with one song called Fitzel. So it's worked very well for us. But there are stages in a career. So in our career, I think we took a good call to do this in 2009 when we were just about a year and a half old. And because of that, people got to hear that song and then lots of our songs from before. And at that point, what was most important for us was that more people should listen to our songs. While that continues, now the bigger thing that we would be looking at is not about trying to include more people to listen to our songs. Because thankfully we now have a base. We know that
Great base.
they're very fortunate. There are lots of people who will listen to a song the day it's out. They might not like it, that's a different issue. But we don't have that initial starting trouble that we have to get people to know that there's a song. So thankfully once we have that, now the entire perspective will shift itself. We will be looking at, we've got both Coco and I have been wanting to do this whole go back to basics situation where not even a CD, maybe release an LP and do the exact opposite on the DVD where we release a Blu-ray. So make the physical product as a product extremely worth it to buy and not think of how many copies will sell and whether we get money from.
One pivotal question we had was, Agnee did not charge at the Delhi concert for Aam Aadmi Party last year, and you're willing to support AAP similarly in the future. So how did this change come about, and what quality about AAP influenced you the most as a band? You had lots of other artists joining the bandwagon, Kailash K and other bands.
Sure.
So what was this music revolution on stage?
See, essentially, when we went to Delhi to support the cause, we had essentially Raghu, who's a good friend of ours, from MTV Roadies.
Yeah.
He was the one who pretty much didn't give us a choice. He said, "You're coming because I'm asking you to come." And there are certain relationships which are like based on, we're very good friends. So when he actually told us that you must come, we were not very sure whether we wanted to be associated with a political party. Our job as musicians is to make music. We may have individual viewpoints as Mohan and Coco individually, but as a band, we choose not to actually use Agnee as a platform to say anything, whether it's to preach, whether it is to capitalize on social evils, and whether it's writing songs when there is a criminal act like a rape or violence or anything like that, and use that as a platform to. We like to stick to making music, and it's the song and the content of the song that we want to promote, and not make a song to actually customize to. Customizing songs to films is different, but to real life incidences or to try and promote a political party or anything. I personally, I think Mr. Kejriwal is doing a fantastic job, and as a person, as Coco, as an individual, I will be very supportive of him. But I don't want to hold the Aam Aadmi Party or the BJP or the Congress placard on as Agnee, because Agnee actually is about music. We're musicians and we'd like to stick to doing that.
Very diplomatic. And so, evidently the music scene has changed since you started on in 2006. And Agnee has been widely successful and active for many years. So how has the live music scene and your own music changed over the years?
Live music scene, I'll take it from now, because I entered the live music scene, if you look at it, from 2006 because of Agnee. He's been in the live music scene since 87 or 86. So he pretty much have a better perspective of the live music scene from there. I can probably tell you a little about, as much as he can, about how our music has changed from time since I joined. I think we've tried to keep it the same. We tried to keep the basic idea has always been the same. We came into music quite late, at least I did, and we've never thought about things like how to make a hit song, how to make ourselves more popular. Those are marketing situations. We don't let our product be affected. I think that's the only thing that continues throughout. It doesn't matter whether we're composing for a film, for a show, or for ourselves. We just try and make the song that's best at that point. That's about it. There's no, and the best is decided by how good the song is to us, not to, or whoever the team is. Let's say there's a director, how the song is to all of us. Live music scene, since I have moved in, has changed in the last 3 years, I think. Festivals are coming up, there are a lot. College festivals are always there. But there's a lot more public shows, there's a lot more festivals now than there were before. For Bollywood and non-Bollywood. I think both of them, the venues like Blue Frog, like Hard Rock Cafe, like all of these, which have come up actually if you look at it in the last 3 to 5 years.
Yes.
So it's quite good to find so many venues. So I'm quite excited to be there.
For the last question to wrap up the interview, KGP has its name for indie music and there are lots of bands of upcoming artists and bands out here. They'll perform at wildfire. So what would be your advice to those who want to pursue music seriously?
Be honest. Be honest, I say. Coco and I have had a good for now. We don't really have time, but earlier on, maybe 4 years ago, we judged a lot of bands at college competitions. Not lots of them, but some of them. And Coco keeps beating all these new musicians. So do I. I think the new musicians, college bands are fantastic. They have a different perspective. They're very, very keen to look at the basics of music, making the band tight. We've always been obsessed with this, with being tight on stage. And I think that's the first hallmark of a good band. For me, I think the only advice I would give is what we follow and what has worked for us, which is being honest with our music. And just everything else is pretty much secondary and fourth from that. So if you give the song that much importance that it's not your song, it's what's going to make you eat, then you'll do everything that you need to do to justify that song, to make it sound the best it can, to play it the best on stage as possible, as a unit.
Try and find your own sound. I would I don't want to come from a position and say that I'd like to advise the bands, because what happens is typically every musician has his own influences. Got to find my own sound. So I think if you translate that even to a band, I think the band should look at creating their own sound, because what's already popular and it's already been done, there's no point in actually trying to emulate that, because you'll be lost in a crowd. So that's probably the only word of suggestion I'd like to give upcoming bands. No advice coming from us.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, and all the very best for your gig today.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for